You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show.
With about 10 days until Extreme Rules, Friday Night SmackDown turned into Friday Night Shield Down, or
SmackDown.
Shield.
It was a SmackDown.
It was
Lots of SmackDown.
It was the Shield featuring SmackDown.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what tonight was. Welcome to AfterBuzz WWE Friday Night SmackDown, everybody. I'm Christian Rosenberg, and alongside me this week, my man, Mr. Ron Moore. How are you, sir?
Was I not here last week?
Well, you are, but we're missing one. We're missing Corey.
Yeah, we are missing one.
She actually got a last-minute red carpet gig this week, so she's interviewing some people for a big event on a red carpet out in Hollywood. So
she's big timing us.
She's big timing us right now, but she promised she would tweet a photo of her outfit for the red carpet for all her Corporation fans. But we're gonna break down SmackDown tonight, then. AKA Shield Down. Hell, I'm just gonna call it Shield Down because the Shield was in like 95% of the show. I mean,
yeah, they were the show. They were the entire show.
They were pretty much the entire show. It was a good show. It did develop. I mean, there were a couple other angles that continued to develop, but it was pretty much
all
the Shield.
Yeah.
So the night starts off with Vicky in the ring, and she's mentioned how the Authority's taking a night off, so I'm in charge tonight. Well, you're the general manager of SmackDown. Aren't you in charge anyway?
Usually.
Yeah.
Works that way.
Yeah. And she says that tonight's main event will be The Shield versus Rybaxel, Alberto Del Rio, and, well, you don't need to worry about the rest of them, but it's going to be 11-on-3 handicap match. Again?
We've seen this.
We've seen this for the last few weeks.
A few times.
It's like, AKA the entire heel mid-card versus The Shield. So apparently we're going to have that as a main event tonight. Or are we? Foreshadowing.
Dun, dun, dun.
But before we get into that, we have the great debate. And now the camera pans farther back, and all of a sudden we see that we have Zeb Colter, Jack Swagger, Paul Heyman, and Cesaro all in the ring behind Vicky. They were just standing there while she made that announcement about the Shield match. And we're going to have a debate between Zeb and Paul Heyman. As soon as I hear that, I'm like, go on.
Yeah. you're giving your Smithers fingers on that one. Not even Montgomery Burns.
No, this is Smithers fingers.
Yeah.
Go on. So they're trying to treat it like a debate, and Zeb, says that he was ambushed by the change of plans by Cesaro and that he knew nothing about it. And he told Vicky she might want to leave the ring or take a bath quickly because she's going to get covered in fleas that those two guys have.
Mm-hmm.
And he just wants to know why. Why, Cesaro, did you leave me to join Paul Heyman? Or he wants to know from Paul Heyman, why did you take Cesaro from me?
Yeah, pretty much.
Paul Heyman then responds by saying, my client Brock Lesnar defeated The Undertaker at WrestleMania. My client Brock Lesnar defeated The Undertaker at WrestleMania. My client Brock Lesnar defeated The Undertaker at WrestleMania. My client defeated Brock Lesnar. My client Brock Lesnar. I can't even do it.
Yeah, can you do it? Can you do it? Take your time, man.
That's why Paul Heyman's so damn good, because he can say the same crap over and over and over.
He's been saying it since WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He hasn't stopped yet. I think the moment that match ended, the only words that have come out of his mouth are, my client Brock Lesnar destroyed the streak. That's pretty much. And
last week I was annoyed by it because I'm like, oh, I wanted like a Paul Heyman promo. But after he did it last week on SmackDown and then did it on Raw and he did it tonight on SmackDown, I'm like, okay, this is pretty funny.
He's gonna do it I think all the way to SummerSlam.
I don't know if it's going to go that long, but he's going to do it until Undertaker shows up, which I'm thinking might be more so Payback.
So Royal Rumble.
No, Payback, I'm thinking. I'm thinking it might be like a month or so.
So Royal Rumble.
Sure.
That's about how long it takes Taker to come back anyway.
That's true. Zeb then, stops him, again. He's like, no, you're not answering the question. I need to know why. Why did you steal him from the Real Americans? And Paul then said, well, remember, I'm the one behind the one in 21-1. But then I'm also the one behind the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I represent Cesaro, the winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I represent Cesaro, the winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I represent Cesaro, the winner. It's like funny annoying.
Yeah. What he's doing now is almost like a bad hip hop song where you just hear the same lyrics over and over and over again.
T-Pain song. Got it.
You said that, I didn't. But yeah. What you just said.
All right.
He's just trolling everybody, like they said, like AJ just said in the chat roll.
Yeah. And for smart marks, air quotes there, Heyman's doing exactly what they love to do. So he kind of brought that on there, which is kind of hilarious. And now all of a sudden we're getting almost a confrontation, a physical confrontation between Zeb and Heyman, which part of me knows will be awful, but part of me really wants to see.
It would be the most god-awful fight ever.
That would be so bad.
Yeah.
And I loved Zeb saying, we need to talk man-to-man. And Heyman's like, I'd be happy to talk man-to-man, but we're one man short.
Yeah.
Then they finally get separated between Swagger and Cesaro separate the two. And then that leads us into having Cesaro versus Swagger one-on-one match. Where, again, this should be a pay-per-view match.
Should be.
But we're going to have it now on SmackDown. And a fun, technical match. And a lot of people were questioning, how is this going to work with Cesaro being with Paul Heyman? Because people love Cesaro. They want to cheer for Cesaro. Well, Cesaro was the face in this match. And it goes kind of saying pretty much how Punk started when he was with Heyman. Punk was still the face when all this happened. And I think we're going to get that with Cesaro.
He keeps going. It's so interesting to watch because he goes back and forth. It depends on who he's in the ring with, I've noticed over the last couple of weeks. If he's in the ring in there with, what was it? A couple of weeks ago, they booked him against another face, and it was weird. And then all of a sudden, but when they put him in with Swagger, which is who I think he should work with exclusively until...
For at least a month.
Yeah, then, then it works. He's a face. But I think they're trying to ride that line between Heyman, which way he's going to go. Because Heyman's one of those guys we love to watch, but he represents guys that we're supposed to hate. So, I'm just watching it to see what they do with it, because it's going to be interesting to see when Brock comes back and you have Brock and Cesaro under the same guy.
Yeah, and you're also seeing the pattern where it hasn't just been Zeb, but it's been whoever Cesaro's interacted with. On Raw was RVD. All of them telling him, get away from Heyman. So they're already planting the seeds for whenever that screw job happens. It could be in a month, it could be in a year. So, it's intriguing.
Yeah.
It's very intriguing TV. Cesaro adds a springboard spinning uppercut to his arsenal tonight.
I think he's going to try to do the uppercut like so many different ways.
Yeah, but it's
played a lot of Street Fighter, I think.
Yeah. You don't see a guy that big do a springboard, though, let alone one in the ring into an uppercut.
Yeah, normally that's not a thing that a big guy does.
No.
It's kind of like when Randy Orton used to climb to the top rope and do that frog splash cross body that he used to do.
And he was too big for that.
Yeah, he's 6'5". Yeah, it's kind of big.
Cesaro's right around that, too.
He's really close to that. Yeah. He's like an inch shorter, maybe, than Orton. An inch or two. Like, he's no shorter than 6'3". So it's pretty big to be on the top rope.
But like I said, it was a fun technical match. Swagger got his stuff in too. They went back and forth. They played the part of, hey, these guys used to be tag partners. They know each other very well type story. Cesaro Swing, however, followed by the Neutralizer, and Cesaro beats Swagger clean. If this was going to continue, I wouldn't have expected that to happen.
It's kind of hard to continue it.
Yeah.
Once
the good guy wins.
Yeah.
So,
clean.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to make that keep going.
And then they cue Perry Saturn's music.
Yeah.
AKA Cesaro's new music.
That's right. Saturn wasn't coming out?
That's right.
I thought Perry was back.
It's nearly... Listen to Cesaro's new music and then listen to Saturn's WWE music. They're almost identical.
Yeah.
I still like it. But
if Cesaro starts hurting
if he starts dating a mop,
then we're in trouble. The last time I saw Saturn, he pulled up to a WWE. I want to say it was a house show, but I'm not sure. It was in Birmingham, back when I originally first started wrestling. And he pulls up in a drop top Sebring, wearing a towel and jeans. That's it. He pulled up to the arena with a towel over his shoulders, top down, music blasting, and he just flew straight into the building.
You know he's got like the Tyson face tattoo now, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't mess with Saturn.
No. Oh no. Not going to mess with him at all. So Cesaro wins. Heyman and Cesaro pose in the ring, and all of a sudden, Shield's music hits. Mm-hmm. Then we go up. We see the Shield come down from the stands. We get back to the ring. Cesaro and Heyman are gone. Nowhere to be seen. But Swagger's still down in the ring. Shield then go ahead and destroy Swagger. Triple powerbomb. And Ambrose grabs the mic and says, Triple H said adapt or perish. Well, Swagger failed to adapt. And then Reigns took it and said, we're just getting started. And that pretty much started the entire show.
Number one.
Victim number one was Jack Swagger.
Yeah.
We get a little recap of Michael Cole's weekly interview this week. Now they're kind of changing it up. They're just kind of throwing someone else at him each week for like the exclusive one-on-one interview. This week it was Paige, the WWE Divas Champion, the no longer NXT Women's Champion, because it was breaking news. I believe they announced it yesterday on their website that they have stripped Paige of the NXT Women's Championship, which it sucks when you hear someone get stripped of a title, but in this case, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
You can't have the Divas Champion lose to someone that's not on the main roster.
Yeah. It's true. It is true. I do, kind of like when you put the word stripped and Paige together. That works for me.
It does.
Yeah.
She's almost as pale as me.
Almost. But you may have her by just a smidge.
All right. I hear Marissa laughing in the booth.
Yeah, she is.
Laughing at my paleness. I appreciate it.
Dude, Michael Jackson is laughing at your paleness.
I've said it before on the show. I'll say it again. I'm not white. I'm clear.
Ultraviolet.
Anyway, the Paige interview, because she's talking about how she's taking on all comers, and then we get a quick recap and reminding us that Tamina is the current number one contender for that Divas title, and that leads us into Tamina versus Natalya. And this was a bona fide squash. Tamina almost, other than like a discus clothesline, Tamina dominated this match.
Yeah, that I can't debate. I won't argue that at all.
Because obviously these two have had very competitive matchups for the last several months.
I'm really thinking. I'm trying to remember what did I see Natty do in this.
She
match.
tried to get the sharpshooter on and then that didn't work. She hit the discus clothesline and she countered for a small package.
Yeah,
that was I think it.
Never mind. Proceed.
All right,
got me.
Well, that was pretty much almost the entire match that I just described. Well, as far as all Natalya stuff, but Tamina dominated, and then it was a super kick, but it wasn't like a super kick. It was just a stiff old kick to the throat.
That was a throat thrust kick thing. Yeah. When we saw it, we both went, "Oh man, that looked like it sucked," because it lined perfectly up with her throat and. She just put the foot there and then pushed through. It wasn't like a quick contact. It was just here's my foot, come close to it, and then I'm going to throw it.
I'm going to destroy your trachea.
Yeah, completely. Yeah.
And Tamina gets the win. giving her momentum for her title match against Paige in about 10 days.
Who's going to win that one?
I mean, you could go either way.
True.
Obviously, we'll do our predictions next week, because I don't want it to be a burial on Paige of just being the person to then hand the title to Tamina.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have the story of Tamina and AJ.
Mm-hmm. And when is AJ coming back?
I would guess in a few weeks. But then you can also, though, Paige can be the fighting babyface Divas champion that we haven't had in a year.
Yeah.
So it can still go either way. It's really a coin flip for me at this point. I'm glad I have another week before I have to say my pick.
We'll see next week when you have to give those predictions.
Yeah, and probably fail again as I have the last few months.
Horribly.
I mean, it's one thing if I don't win the predictions title. It's another thing when I only get like 2 or 3 matches right on a pay-per-view.
Maybe the WWE has been they've been booking away from your thought process.
Maybe they have plans and they hear me and I have everything perfectly right, so like, we got to change things up.
We hate that pill guy. Let's change it.
There you go. 3MB is backstage, and they're kind of hanging out. And all of a sudden, Seth Rollins walks in. And 3MB is like, oh, Seth Rollins, you're just by yourself. Well, we're going to take care of you. And then Ambrose shows up.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, Ambrose joined you. Well, it's still 3-on-2, even though we have not won a match other than Hornswoggle winning. We can take care of you guys.
Oh, don't remind me.
Yeah, that happened. And then Roman Reigns shows up from the other side, and we have the ultimate stare down between Heath Slater and Roman Reigns. Meanwhile, in the background, Ambrose and Rollins are beating the crap out of Jinder and McIntyre.
Getting their asses kicked.
And I'm glad the cameras was only on Slater's face, because if it was a full body shot, you probably saw him wet his pants.
Just seeing him stand there and look at Roman Reigns. Oh, man. Great stare down. Great staring contest. I think they probably had fun with this before they did it.
Oh, you know they were probably like cracking up about it. And then that led to them then all ganging up and beating up Slater as well. Yeah. So 3MB is now beat down, which is a shocker.
Yeah.
I didn't expect 3MB to take a beating.
I didn't see that coming. I didn't expect the guys who are mostly taller than the Shield and so entertaining in the ring to take a beat down to the Shield. I didn't see that. Didn't expect that.
Is it weird, or do we notice that almost everyone that was supposed to be in this 11-on-3 match were taller than the Shield?
Yeah. They started taking them out one by one.
It was just like, wait a minute. They're all like, almost all of them are taller than them. I never noticed that until tonight.
And I knew it because Rollins, Ambrose, they're not super tall. Reigns isn't super tall. Reigns is like 6'3". A lot of people think because he's built up so well and they think he's a monster, but he's only about 6'3".
And well, if you're walking down the street, 6'3", that's
6'3" is
freaking tall.
Especially when you are
that
Samoan and got long hair and tats
in the WWE. 6'3" is about average height.
It's average. Yeah.
Like
could even be called short by some people.
I'm 6'1". I'd be one of the shorter guys in the WWE.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, I'm pretty much just taller than like Sin Cara and Daniel Bryan. That's about it.
Go ahead, cruiserweight.
I weigh more than cruiserweight, so I'm screwed.
I had to throw it in.
No, I'm screwed. Vicky backstage on the phone. Clearly, based on the conversation, sounds like she's on the phone with Triple H, and Triple H tells her to take the night off. And Brad Maddox is now in charge for the rest of the night. Hey, Brad is on TV. Good for him.
We've seen him.
Yeah.
He made an appearance. He got a check.
He did. Curtis Axel versus Jey Uso. On Main Event, I got to fill in this week on Main Event AfterBuzz, so you guys make sure you check that out as well. And give Tom the Calm some love on Twitter this weekend, because that man is getting married.
Yeah, he's giving up his life. I mean, he's getting married.
Yeah, like I said on Main Event, Tom, there's still time. There's still time.
Escape.
We know you're out east for the wedding.
You can run now.
I'm sure there's a red eye. I'm kidding. Tom, have fun. Congratulations, all that stuff. Make sure you tweet him at Tom the Calm.
Congrats, bruh.
Congrats for that. But on Main Event, we had Ryback defeat Jimmy Uso, hence setting up the momentum. And now tonight, we have Curtis Axel versus Jey Uso. This is a simple match. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. Just simple few minute match.
This match.
Axel gets the win clean.
Yeah.
And, hit
which
his
is
finisher.
weird.
When was the last time we said that?
Yeah. I don't even remember watching the match, to tell you the truth.
It was quick.
Yeah, it was so fast. I really don't remember watching that match at all. I don't know if that says anything about the Usos when they're separated, or I think it says more about Axel, but hey, whatever. I just don't remember the match. It was that fast.
I don't know, but again, now another show where Rybaxel one-ups the Usos, and someone in the chat roll showed it, like a link that WWE.com has officially announced, or if they haven't, it's bound to happen within the next 24 hours, that the Usos will defend the tag team titles at Extreme Rules against Rybaxel. Yeah. Which at this point we kind of figured.
I like them together. I like Rybaxel.
They're finally growing on me.
Yeah.
I want them still though to be comedic. I think they could be funny. Because Axel lacks the personality, and Ryback is just so off the wall.
Nothing but just unfiltered personality.
It's Al Snow and Steve Blackman all over again.
Exactly. And
I think they could capitalize on that.
Al Snow was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I did like his character. Yeah. Mick Foley probably would laugh at me saying that, but I think I like it.
Then we get, all of a sudden, Steel Cage is lowered to the ring. And we get the plop. Wyatt family. Another epic promo.
I mean, we have to invent a new scale for his promos.
We do. We need to create the Braille-meter or something like that.
Because they're so good. You just, like, tonight was almost average to me. It was
it's just this one's in a cage.
Yeah.
The biggest highlight for me in this promo is that I'm sorry. Someone in the chat room just corrected me. Tag title match is going to be on Raw.
There you go.
But I'm guessing something's going to happen with that. And then they're somehow going to have another match at the pay-per-view. Or at least a kickoff match. They've built this up for the last few weeks. They can't just have it on Raw with a pay-per-view in a week and a half.
You would think that they would do this at the pay-per-view, but I don't even know what their other plans are for the pay-per-view. I don't know.
No.
But that's a pay-per-view match.
But for all we know, that could suddenly change and over the weekend and be like, oh, it got moved to the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Or the Shield could show up once again and show up and destroy everyone again.
Or it could be Evolution on Raw doing what the Shield did and just coming out and destroying everybody.
Opposite
that
would be great.
But yeah, my highlight of this Bray Wyatt promo is at the end, he's singing while hanging at the top of the cage. His legs are quivering because he's trying to keep his balance on the fence of the cage
just lean
while
across the top.
Singing.
Yeah.
How? That is just difficult. Like,
you didn't jump a lot of fences in your young years, did you?
Again, I am overweight and extremely white. How many fences do you think I pulled off jumping over?
Yeah. See, I have a lot of experience with jumping fences. It's not as hard.
There are a lot of jokes I can make with that, but I'm going to be quiet.
I know, and the chat roll's probably having fun with it too.
Yeah,
but
chat roll, you have at it. Because he's a foot away from me, I'm going to be quiet.
Yeah, just don't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not that hard, but it is hard. And what do you mean? How you taking that? You think my fences didn't have anything to do with the wrestling ring? What? I know you're not thinking that me jumping fences has to do with some criminalistic activity.
Never.
I mean, I've been in a couple of steel cage matches.
Yes, you have.
Not anything. I mean, is that where you were going? I just want you to.
Anyway, so Bray had a great promo.
Think about your words.
Bray had a great promo.
There you go.
Bray had a great promo.
But
I think I had a Heath Slater face at you just
for
now.
a moment. But yeah, him at the top of the cage singing is great. Yeah. What I like about it the most is when he goes into the second verse.
Yeah, he kept singing. Like, we figured, it'd be like the one thing. Because he's freaking hanging from a cage. Yeah. And then he keeps going.
Yeah. And he got louder.
Yeah. And he got louder. Like, he's like, okay, now for the bridge.
Yeah. And now out comes Diddy, and we're going to do the remix, too. Yeah. He's got the whole world brought to you by, I don't know, Kanye.
Wow.
I think that would be pretty interesting. Because Kanye would think that he was the guy with the world.
Kanye's lyrics would be, I have the whole world in my hands.
That he was the guy with the world.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
That would be interesting. This then leads to Harper and Rowan taking on the Roses. What are you laughing at now? What does someone say in the chat roll now? I'm trying to look at it a little bit too.
Oh, AJ. There's a line from NWA.
Oh, there it is. Kind of talking about what you thought I was referring to.
Yeah.
Oh, about your fence jumping.
Coming straight from the underground. Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Yes.
Next match, what was it?
Harper and Rowan versus the Roses.
That's right there in the match where they raised the cage up. I was hoping that there would have been a cage match at that point.
Yeah, why didn't the Rhodes just be like, hey, we still want to prove something that we deserve tag title shots, so you know what? Keep the cage down. Yeah. Let's do this.
Did they have a cage match on Main Event?
No.
So they literally manufactured a cage just for this promo.
Yes.
Continue.
All right. Fun match, as these four have always delivered fun matches. But they're continuing to plant the seeds of what I've been asking for how long?
A long time, I believe.
For the Rhodes dissension. Yeah. For a feud to finally happen between the two.
You've been waiting on that since
I wanted that
summer.
I wanted them to break up like before the Rumble, and then have a match at Mania.
I think you said the same thing about SummerSlam.
Well, maybe I did. Maybe I did.
You've been saying that for a really long time.
I want Cody versus Goldust with Dusty as the referee. I want them to have a huge moment with all of them. For like one last time, all three of them in the ring together.
That could happen.
I want it to be Mania.
But what would it mean?
Well, I mean, you could do the thing where, you could be like, okay, this company can only handle one Rhodes. Loser leaves. Where obviously
they'll still have two though. If Dusty's there.
Well, he's just special occasion for that match.
Okay, that'll work.
Yeah, he's not suddenly getting.
He's
not going to suddenly be competing against the Roman and Harper.
No, please don't bring out the polka dots. But yeah, it would be cool to see the Rhodes against each other at some point. But the longer they're together and the way they've been used now, I think almost takes away from what you want to see.
Yeah,
because they've almost been turned in. I don't want to say fodder, but they use them in really good spots when they need to put them in those good spots. Other than that, then they're just like, hey, go out there and get beat by the Wyatts.
Yeah, which they did tonight after the miscommunication where Goldust got rammed into Cody when he was on the top rope and sent Cody flying to the outside. Goldust is looking at him, is like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Turns around into the huge lariat from Harper, and the Wyatts get the win.
Yep. Well, we saw a little bit of it tonight, so maybe you'll get your wish.
And we saw it on Raw, too.
Mm-hmm.
On Raw, at the end of their match, when they lost, all of a sudden, Goldust just stormed away.
It'd be amazing if you finally get your wish and it happens at SummerSlam.
Out
here in Los Angeles.
That's, to me, I think SummerSlam might be too far away, though. Now that they're finally doing this, SummerSlam seems a long way away.
When you have a brother versus brother type of match, that's a big four pay-per-view match. I wouldn't want to see that at just a middle of the summer, like whatever the July pay-per-view is now. Yeah. I wouldn't want to see. I would want that at SummerSlam. Yeah.
By the way, you have a request in the chat roll to do the Dusty impression since we're talking about his two sons.
No, I don't want to do it today.
Oh,
I want to keep it. Thank you, Marissa.
Our studio audience is very upset that you do not want to do that. As you can hear, is everyone at home listening upset about this? Well, then you could tell us on iTunes. If you're upset that Rome refuses to do the Dusty Rhodes impression this week. But you can also give us a 5-star rating and subscribe to all the great AfterBuzz shows such as SmackDown and Raw and NXT and Main Event and Total Divas and any other TV show you like. AfterBuzz more than likely does it. I'm going to give myself a selfish, shameless plug in this. If you listen to The Voice, I had one-on-one phone interviews with the people that were just eliminated this week, and they're up on iTunes, as well as AfterBuzzTV.com and our YouTube page. Leave comments, subscribe, 5 stars, all that jazz. Yeah.
Did you say all that jazz?
I said all that jazz. I could have said it. I could have sang it.
Yeah, don't do that, please. Don't. No, you're thinking about it. Stop it.
Stop.
I will throw this pen at you.
Brad Maddox backstage with the Shield.
Thank you.
Jazz. Backstage. See what happens when Corey's not here?
I'm going to throw this in.
Maddox is backstage with the Shield trying to calm them down, and they kind of decapitate Brad Maddox, pretty much.
That was my favorite part of the show.
Roman Reigns threw Brad Maddox about 10 feet up and 5 feet across over against a wall. Like, that ain't some prop wall.
No, that was a real wall.
That's a real cement wall.
Cinder blocks and paint, and that was real.
And then Ambrose decided to jump over the couch and just proceed to beat him down.
Favorite part of the show, because he looked like Wolverine, like a rabid Wolverine, just a little 5'10" angry rabbit guy who just wants to
some
beat up
5'10" rabid Wolverine.
Yeah,
I've never heard that description before.
That's what we kind of looked like that.
Yeah,
just saying. I don't know where I've heard it from.
He's not
before.
from Canada, is he?
I don't think he's from Edmonton.
Okay.
But I mean, it's obviously I don't think he's 5'10". He's a little taller than that. But just the veracity with which he did everything tonight was so good. It's just that, this guy's just out of his mind. Yeah. I loved it.
And then we get Fandango versus Santino, which we're thinking, oh my God, again? Are you kidding me? How many TV shows are we going to have some combination of Fandango and Layla and Santino and Emma? However, when Fandango comes out, Layla has this weird look and starts backing away, and all of a sudden Fandango turns around, and there's the Shield.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
And then they proceed to beat him down and powerbomb him off of the stage through 2 tables.
Yeah.
Fandango got the worst beating out of everyone tonight.
Maybe he should, if one of them wanted to take Layla out to dinner, all
they had to do was ask.
They should have just asked. Yeah, they didn't have to remove him like that. That was bad. I mean, she looked hot. She
does.
Was hot tonight. I'm glad they waited.
This was a good outfit. She had one like a week or so ago where it was like so many feathers that were covering like her entire body. I'm like, that's a little excessive.
Yeah.
This one looked good tonight.
Yeah. It's classy. It was sexy. It was good. And I'm glad they let her dance and do her thing with Fandango. And then Fandango had to leave. And we weren't, victims of yet another Santino Fandango match.
Yeah. Do you think, because a move like that, when you're powerbombed off the stage through tables, you should normally be written off TV for a little while. Do you think they're going to do that with Fandango?
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to him. I don't know if there are plans for him to take a couple of weeks off or if he had something he had to go to. Not sure. But, yeah, usually when you take that type of bump, it's, hey, okay, well, this guy's going to be gone for a little while. I don't know. Is he going to go film Marine 5? I don't know what's going on.
Well, Summer left to film Marine 4.
Yeah, she's doing Marine 4 with The Miz right now.
Yeah. So, yeah, maybe they're filming 4 and 5 at the same time.
You know WWE films does.
Let's just hope they don't release 5 first.
Get it in order, guys.
A vignette for Adam Rose in the Exotic Express.
Yes.
There seemed to have been a familiar face in that vignette.
Somewhere along that left side.
It was like a guy in purple.
Yeah, there was a guy with a very loud hat, wasn't it?
And he seemed to have a huge smile on his face.
Big smile. Yeah. He screamed rosebuds really loudly.
I know. He said hi to me.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm ready for his debut. I am ready for Adam Rose to debut. And I think because we've gone too far now since Del Rio's had the cars, the Exotic Express bus will be pulling in. And I want it to pull in every time. And every time, different bizarre people. Not the same ones. Different costumes, different people.
Just fall off the bus.
That's a great way for local guys to get work.
Yeah.
They'll book 10 indie guys
and just let them
in that area. You're going to wear these crazy costumes, and you're just going to come out and celebrate and dance with Adam Rose to the ring.
Yeah, they should.
That will get so over. I mean, he's already so over.
Well, but if they pull a bus out, that's going to make it. That's going to just make the entire gimmick.
Well, there have been constant photos over Twitter. People have been... The buzz has been to these events the last few weeks, and people have been taking pictures in front of the Exotic Express. Yeah. He has the bus. It only makes sense. It only makes sense.
Yeah, they have to pull it out.
from the
Just
celebration.
race the Titantron and let it drive.
Yeah, just like you got to make room to the side for a
or let
bus
it come
to come
out
out
from the side.
Oh, it's definitely from the side, like Del Rio's cars
Yeah,
would. It'll
just
definitely
like that.
Yeah. So we go from the celebration to the visceration that Kane gave to Dan O'Brien on Raw. The recap of that.
I guess you would.
He said he was gonna eviscerate him. So does that mean the evisceration? Is that a word? I don't even know.
Somebody in the chat roll will tell you.
Yeah, tell me if I made up a word or not. I can. That's fine. But yeah, 3 tombstones. One on the floor, one on a stair, and one on the announce table.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot of tombstones.
3. Yeah.
Yeah. Dan O'Brien's defending the title in an Extreme Rules match in 10 days against Kane.
Just to go off subject for a second, Daniel Bryan has had the worst. He's had the greatest but worst, like 2, 3. Well, I'm gonna say month. Pretty much, he goes from being built up so much, wins the belt,
Yeah.
and from that point on, he got married. But then he was kind of overshadowed by The Undertaker losing, and then the Ultimate Warrior passing away, unfortunately, and then his father passing away.
Yeah.
That's a lot. You've just been giving the belt. You're the crown jewel of the company. They need you to be in all of these places, and everything happens at once.
And someone tweeted me today that apparently there was, like a Make-A-Wish child that, he was the wish, that Dan O'Brien personally invited to WrestleMania, who also passed away today.
It's rough.
I mean,
that's rough.
You want to talk about the highs to the lows like that?
Yeah. Heavy as the head.
Jeez. Just awful, awful stuff. And he's got to deal with all this and then have have a main event in a week and a half.
Go out and you're the guy.
Yeah. You're the champion.
Yeah.
This is what you got to do. This is
do
why
it.
the gold's on you.
Yep. You have to do it. You have no choice.
This is why 2 pieces of gold are on you. He's still got 2 titles.
Oh, yeah, he does. I forgot about that.
Why do they still have the 2 titles?
I don't know. I don't care now. I think it's funny.
I just feel bad for them. They're like going through security at every airport.
I think he should bring out more titles now. I think it should be like boxing. He should come out and have just like 4 titles on.
Like have him win the Intercontinental title somehow.
Yeah, just let it keep going. And then I want to go to the airport and watch him try to go past TSA with all of those.
We're going to turn Dan O'Brien into Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
Just one around his neck, both arms, legs.
Shield come down to the ring, and now we're like, oh, it's time for their handicap match. Wait, who's left? Because they beat down everyone.
Yep.
Well, there are 5 remaining. Because we found out, Michael Cole announced that apparently, I don't know if this was on the app or he just announced it, they destroyed Axel backstage too.
Yeah.
So he's gone.
He's not in it.
So we now have, instead of an 11-on-3 handicap match, it is a 5-on-3 handicap match. The Shield versus Alberto Del Rio, Damian Sandow, Titus O'Neil, Ryback, and Bad News Barrett. So you got to think, though, it's still 5-on-3. One of those 5 is a former WWE champion and a winner of 40-man Royal Rumble. Another one of them is in line to fight Big E if he's victorious on Raw for the Intercontinental Championship. And then you got arguably the strongest guy on the roster. And the Shield destroy them. Every single one of them.
Everyone. In the most creative ways, too.
They really did. And they all came out to the SmackDown generic music, too. They didn't get their individual music.
Yeah. No,
or could have at least been, all right, Del Rio's music will hit and everyone will come out with Del Rio.
Yeah.
No. They all just came out to the SmackDown music.
Which lets you know where you are as a company. I mean, in the company. It lets you know your rank, your position. Yeah. Just like at WrestleMania with the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Sheamus and Big Show. Only 2.
Yeah. I mean, why?
Don't know. Don't know. At least play one. Just pick a guy.
Yeah.
Play his theme.
Yeah.
Let the rest of them walk out. But it didn't happen like that.
No. So, yeah, Shield take everybody out. Barrett and Alberto Del Rio, and I was laughing about this because they're kind of like, oh, wait, no, we're not going to deal with this. And they start leaving. It's like, well, that makes sense. The only 2 that are somewhat over at the moment okay, yeah, they won't get beat up and buried. But then, all of a sudden, Reigns, I don't know if he went through the crowd or teleported or something. He teleported.
I don't know what he did.
Roman Reigns teleported.
Magical fairy dust.
To the side of the stage.
Yeah.
And
he
Barrett
check
saw
on Fandango.
Barrett, yeah. Fandango was still out. Barrett saw him push Del Rio away and bolted. And Del Rio gets hit with the Superman punch.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the ring,
like literally vanished off the stage.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the ring, Ambrose and Rollins destroying everybody. Spear on Reigns gets back in the ring, hits a spear on Sandow. Shocking, Sandow's the one who gets pinned.
Yeah, he got pinned.
Shield win the 5-on-3 handicap match, but then go on to spear Titus and spear Ryback, and then triple powerbomb on Ryback.
Yeah.
So that is how SmackDown ends, with the Shield literally destroying, I think, 12 people when it was all said and done. It was the 11-on-3 match plus Brad Maddox.
Yeah, it was about, yeah. So they made sure they destroyed 12.
12
you send
guys.
11 after them, they take 12, 13,
12
14.
guys.
Yeah. Good quarter of the, what is that, like a eighth of the roster?
No, that's like a fourth of the roster.
Fourth of the roster? Yeah.
That's more
really
than a
like
fourth.
Of the roster.
I think the main roster travels about 40 guys.
Yeah.
Not counting Divas.
Yeah.
I think it's about 40 guys.
40 guys, yeah.
So they took out more than a quarter of the roster in a 2-hour program.
Just went through systematically.
I would normally ask what you thought was match of the night, but instead I'm just going to ask, what was your beatdown of the night?
I've already said it once. I'll say it again. Brad Maddox.
I'm gonna go with 3 MBs.
You're gonna go with 3 MBs
because Heath Slater did it for me. Oh God, I loved Slater. Where was Hornswoggle tonight?
Hiding.
I guess.
Would you be out there?
Hey, if Hornswoggle can get 3 MB a win, he must be the one that could take out the Shield. Come on.
Oh yeah.
No.
Hornswoggle, they won't see him coming. You can just sneak up on him.
Just like bite his ankle.
Yeah, I think so.
Because that's really all he can do against
shake him off.
Yeah, Reigns would literally shake him off.
Yeah.
So that is pretty much how SmackDown comes to an end. Like I said, this was aka Shield down.
Yeah, Shield down.
Overall, good SmackDown.
Shield up. Really.
I mean, you built up the Shield. You did build up more of Rybaxel and the Usos. You built up Cesaro. I don't know what they're doing with Cesaro and Swagger. And then you had another great Wyatt promo. So overall, much better SmackDown than we had last week. Last week's was kind of like, what's going on? This week delivered.
Yeah.
And I think we delivered tonight. Even though we were minus...
We're minus one.
We're minus a lovely lady.
Yeah, we're minus our hot one.
Yeah. I know there were probably viewers that just X'd out just because she wasn't on.
Yeah, sorry. We don't compare to, yeah.
Well, speak for yourself.
Well, I don't know. You kind of, I guess if they're in the pasty.
I'm stunning.
If they're in the pasty. Stunning Christian Rosenberg.
Yeah, I like that.
Steve Austin is going to write you a letter.
I'll get another cease and desist letter.
Cease and desist
I'm just going to, that should be my thing. How many cease and desist letters can I get?
I think we can get a bunch, but we may not have jobs anymore.
No. So on that note, maybe I won't do that. And let's wrap this show up.
I guess we'll just wrap it up there.
We'll wrap it up. Great SmackDown tonight. And we will talk more about SmackDown and our Extreme Rules predictions next week. But in the meantime, Rome, where can people hit you up?
Oh, well, they can hit me up a bunch of places. Rome the Ruler on Twitter, as well as Empire of Rome with underscores between the words on IG. You can also catch me on Black Hollywood Live because in just 2 minutes, I'm about to go and do my show. Success is the New Black's interview show where we talk to successful people from all kinds of walks of life, entertainment, government, business, entrepreneurs, anybody like that. But tonight, my guest is the very, very funny, and I went to high school with this guy, Roy Wood Jr. from Birmingham, Alabama. He's been on everything from Comic View to Letterman, and he is currently starring on TBS's Sullivan & Son right now, playing, ironically, a guy named Roy. So, yeah, but I'm about to go and talk to him right now for about an hour in the BHL studio, so you can also catch me there.
All right, and after that insanely long plug, you can follow me on Twitter.
You did it, damn it.
Not that long.
Mine's better. Perfection takes time.
Okay. Well, you can follow me on Twitter at CRosieVOC, and I'll plug this for Rome. Him and I will both be in Van Nuys, California this Sunday night for the first I Am Independent Pro Wrestling show, and the main event of that show is one JJ Steele, also known as Rome Moore.
Who's that? Who's that? That's me?
Deb, that's you.
That's me? I got a match.
You got a main event.
Oh, well, let me get ready.
Against Brian Kendrick.
Oh.
Former WWE tag team and bunch of other champion.
Paul London.
No, the other one.
Paul London.
The other one.
So I'm wrestling Paul London.
No, you're wrestling the blonde.
Paul London changed his hair color?
No, okay. Anyway, it's going to be JJ Steele versus Brian Kendrick. I'll be calling the action. Make sure you swing by if you're in the area. Check it out.
Is Paul London coming?
I don't know. He might. Well, the only way to find out, be there. For Rome Moore, I'm Christian Rosenberg. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.